verses 3 and following, Paul writing this, "But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not even be named among you, as is fitting for saints, neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor coarse jesting, which are not fitting, but rather giving of thanks. For this you know, that no fornicator, unclean person, or covetous man who is an idolater has any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and God." Well, are you using your speech, your online speech, in ways that reflect Christianity, in ways that reflect the Spirit of Christ, or not? Well, those passages would have a direct bearing on your use of the internet. James said that when we use our speech in one minute to bless and in the next minute to curse, he says these things ought not so to be. James 3 and verse 10. A third principle that is important to remember is this: you are responsible for your example. You are responsible for your example. Jesus encouraged in Matthew 5 verse 16, "Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works, and then glorify your Father who is in heaven." In 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 12, Paul wrote to young Timothy and said, "Let no one despise your youth, but be an example to the believers in word, in faith, in purity." Be an example of the believers. Don't let anyone have opportunity to look down upon you because of your youth. Instead, give them every reason to offer you praise because of your good example. And as I mentioned before, I've seen the websites that are operated by some who claim to be Christians. And yet they're not using that medium to portray Christianity. They're not using it to portray morality and good solid Christian ethics. They're using it to display other things that take people not closer to God but farther from God. And that ought not so to be. We are responsible for our example. And if you're a Christian and you have friends that are not Christians that are visiting your site on MySpace or Facebook or one of these other places like that, and they go to your page and you're doing things and saying things and showing pictures of things that you should not be doing, then you're violating these principles and you need to stop it. You are responsible for your example. Number 4, you are responsible for maintaining biblical standards of morality, even online. We've talked about the pictures and bad language and things like that. Some people that profess to be Christians have pictures even of themselves on some of these places that are immodest at best. And it ought not be so. 1 Timothy 2 verse 9. Then number 5. Remember this principle. God goes online. God goes online in this sense because God knows everything that we do. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. Proverbs 15 verse 3. There is no creature that is not manifest in His sight. All things are naked and laid bare before the eyes of Him to whom we must give account. Hebrews 4 verse 13. God will bring every work into judgment with every secret thing. Ecclesiastes 12:14. God knows what you're doing on your computer. You'll not hide it from Him. Well, now let's for a moment light a candle. Someone has said it's one thing to curse the darkness, which we've just done. It's quite another to light a candle. Now I want to light a candle to give you some practical advice on how you might be able to help yourself or others to better use the internet. First of all, let me say something to parents. Parents, especially of teenage children who have spaces, websites, blog sites on some of these places we've mentioned, look at your child's website. Look at it. You're the parent. And if it's password protected where you can't get in, ask them for the password. You're the parent. And if they resist, that ought to tell you something. But look at it. And if it's bad, then take it off. Let me encourage you also to consider using some kind of filtering software that's available out there. There are many kinds and types available. On our computer at home, we use one called Be Safe that's put out by the American Family Association, afa.net. You can order it there. And it filters out a lot of this filth and nonsense that comes over the internet. Use that to keep these things from coming into your home. And hopefully, with just a few practical suggestions and just some common sense, we can help ourselves and help our children to not become victims to those that would use the internet for evil purposes. In Isaiah 29 verse 15, I want to close with this passage. Isaiah 29:15, the prophet said, "Woe to those who seek deep to hide their counsel far from the Lord, and their works are in the dark. They say, who sees us and who knows us?" Well, the answer to that question then is the same answer that it is now. God sees you, and God knows you. And if you have a problem with the internet, you've let it get out of hand, then let God back into your life. Get some professional help if you need it to break any kind of addiction to pornography or whatever else that may be plaguing you. Get the help you need and turn your life back over to God. If you'd like to have a copy of this lesson today, then just contact us and we'll be glad to send it to you. You can have it in the form of a written transcript, audio CD, audio cassette, or DVD. Our address is Post Office Box 865, Hurst, Texas, 76053. Our website is thetruthinlove.com. Our email address, requests@thetruthinlove.com. Or if you want to send us or call us on our 800 number, leave us a voicemail of your order, 800-819-2966. We'll be glad to send this material to you free of charge. Doesn't cost you anything, no obligation on your part. We just want you to have the information and use it to the glory of God. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you again next time.
I make an holy. Come and trust the light. Come and trust the light. Come, my yoke is easy. Come, my burdens light. And you by temptation often conquered men, as a sense of weakness brought distress within. Christ will sanctify you if your claim is best. In the Holy Spirit He will give you rest. Come.